Peace, yo. Time for the moment of truth. This is the latest. Is that somehow I eat meat. I eat meats, plural, and the 13th Bums followers don't. And that's just the end of story. Well, guess what? There's this thing called taurine. It's an amino acid that your body needs. I'm going to post a link, but it says of all the amino acids present in humans, taurine is the most abundant. Unfortunately, it's also deficient in more individuals than any other amino acid. 86% of significantly depressed individuals are deficient in taurine. All right? It helps the heart muscle, the retina, your eyes. As a mild sedative to the nervous system, some people need that. It's used to treat epilepsy. Incidentally, there is no taurine in vegetables. Taurine is a unique animal amino acid found in virtually all animal protein, eggs, milk, and flesh foods, including fish, fowl, and of course beef. It was named for Taurus since it was first found in ox bile. All right. Wow, where do I start? Okay, and we're gonna get into the bed. I'm gonna post a link, and wow, 13 love, 13 knowledge, 13 wisdom. So yeah, 13 Sun helped you become a weak vegan. And if you notice, yeah, a lot of vegans, they do look sickly. It explains a lot with this dude and the way his brain works. Okay, and the shit that he says, one of the number one effects of taurine has a protective effect on the brain, especially when the brain may be dehydrated. So there you go. That explains a lot. You can't find this amino acid in vegetables. It says, I'll post a link, you read it. So it's 13 done. I'm gonna post another link to the most insane person you have ever seen in your life. Of course, he's a follower of 13 Bum and his 13 Love, blah blah blah. I can go on for days, and I did see a video recently, and it was by accident. It was on a chick's channel. She's dissing him. I'm like, okay, and I see pictures. I'm like, this don't look, it's on her channel, but sure enough, I'm hearing his voice, and there's pictures, and it's all about bull and how the more is the bull, and then a whole lot of bull follows. You know what I mean? But it seemed like there was a few things here and there where he had a point, but it's something that you could research yourself. Even if it was 100% correct, which it wasn't, there's no reason to be saying 13 love and then 13 pain and to be jumping on this dude unless you're under a spell. So yeah, it's a full moon in Taurus as we speak, so it's a good time to post this and talk about this. So now that's the new thing, that somehow people say I eat meat. So what kind of meat do I eat? Enlighten me, because there's people who eat horse meat, there's people who eat dog meat, there's people who eat rabbit meat, cat meat, monkey meat, there's lamb meat. Of course, there's the usual, the beef, steak, ground beef, all that Italians, pepperoni and salami. People in Italy eat horse meat. People used to eat meat raw, and I don't eat any of that stuff. And guess what? Animals are a part of nature, and that's one of the reasons the Chinese eat all of those animals, because animals are the most in tune with nature. So when you're eating an animal, you're actually becoming one with nature. So this is a cult of insane people who are driven by emotions. It's 13 is a feminine number. And you know what? I found something interesting when you take 666 in the Bible. Follow me now. 666 is 3x, triple X. You have the 3 X's, right? But X in Roman numerals is the number 10. So the 3 and the X becomes 3 plus 10 equals what? 13. That's the mark of the beast. All right? I'm starting to feel a little bit sad now, because this is an unfair whooping. All right, but they keep coming back. This is an unfair whooping. So do I have to recap all of this, or is this done? Do what you want. All right. All I know is I'm strong. I'm healthy. I'm sane. I don't eat meats. Okay, and not all meat is the same meat. That's it, man. Oh, okay. The Adam and Eve thing. Okay, on 13 Signs Astrology, because sometimes he comes correct, and then sometimes he says the craziest things ever. The Adam and Eve story, even if it's just a story, even if it's just a fairy tale, which it isn't because they have proved that there is a Y chromosomal Adam, meaning every man with a Y chromosome can be traced back to one common ancestor in Africa. Do your research on that. It's called Y chromosomal Adam. So now there's this thing. It's disinfo. It's disinfo, meaning the truth is out there, and the agents come with disinformation. Okay, knowing what the truth is, but they'll say the exact opposite. And that's also one of the things of Satanism. That's also one of the things they do. That's one of their laws, actually. For them to live that life, they have to reverse everything so that up is down and left is right and good is bad. That's how they live. They're doing the devil's work. Idle hands do the devil's work. So, man and woman. Now, one of the things, like 13 Signs, I got, oh my God, I went off on him. I went off on him. He had the audacity to say that, oh, the Bible is all backwards and that God is the devil and the devil is God and the snake in the garden was telling Adam and Eve the truth. Okay, again, even if it was a story, the way the story goes is the snake said, eat this fruit, you will be immortals. And then what happened? They did not become immortals. In fact, they got cursed. And the snake got cursed. Out of all the animals, the snake is the only one that crawls on its belly. Even insects have little legs that they can walk on. Ants, caterpillars, centipedes have 100 legs. Snake is the only animal. See, God took a Naga serpent that was a human talking to Eve, and that was a human that may have actually had sex with Eve, okay, when she was away from her husband, because she sure got comfy with this thing in the garden, right? Going back to her husband saying, hey, let's do what this guy told us to do. So God cursed the snake and said, now you're gonna crawl on your belly, you effing snake. I'm gonna take your arms and I'm gonna take your legs, and now you gotta squirm around and oh my God. Now you get into reptiles. Reptiles are cold-blooded, meaning they have a low need for calories. See, snakes don't need to eat as much. Okay? You don't have the diet of a snake. See, he's gonna attract mentally ill people, and you can see it too. Meaning mentally ill people will follow his doctrine whole scale. I had a whole thing too about reptiles and how they act, but let's get over this Adam and Eve thing, because what happens is now you have a school of thought that's based on supposedly Malachi York, Dr. Malachi York's teachings. Towards the end, his teachings got twisted because he was replaced with a clone, but that's another story. Either way, there was a group of reptilians that infiltrated his movement and started spreading just total lies. They were totally satanic. I saw this. They started coming in with this female type of thing. Let's worship the female. And it's just, see, they come with this thing like, I'm supposed to kiss a woman's ass because I came from a woman. We have the sex chromosomes. When you inherit your genes from your mother and your father, you can have a little bit of both of them. But here's the thing that determines the sex of the baby in the womb, it comes after about 8 weeks of gestation. I don't get too technical and biological with y'all, but just more or less when the time comes for whether the baby is going to be a boy or a girl, what decides that is the man's genetics. It's whether the Y chromosome is added to the fetus or not. When the Y chromosome genes get activated, it starts a chain reaction. It's like an avalanche where the Y chromosome commands the cells to create a penis and testes and testosterone, and you have a boy, all right, who can grow up and impregnate 9, 10, 11, 20 women and be fruitful and multiply and spread over the earth as it was intended. All right, but when you have a girl, all she can do is get pregnant by one guy at a time. That's her role. She's going to be beautiful. Women have a place. There's no women hate here, but there's not going to be any women worship. I'm not going to kiss a woman because she's got a vagina. See, that dudes who never got no ass, who act like that. You don't know women, homie. And trust me, real women are cool with you buying dinner, with it being illegal for you to hit them, etc., because it's just a fact. I don't want to hear none of that divine feminine stuff. Riddle me this. Why have there been no major religions caused by a woman? That's not their purpose. And of course, you can have your demons out here that's saying, "Oh, religion is so bad." Really, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not covet the next man's wife. Thou shalt not steal. Oh yeah, yeah. Would you rather live to a Christian or who has some boundaries and rules, or next to an anarchist, a Satanist, a Nazi? Who do you want to live next to? You want to live in a world where somebody can just have sex with your wife at any moment, kill you at any moment, kill your kid at any moment? Like really, because religion is so bad. I'm telling y'all, there are some demons here. Your time is up. Your time is up. The pineal gland, when it gets activated, you'll start seeing things just like me. And it got nothing to do with number 13. It has nothing to do with eating meats. In fact, if you really want to activate your pineal gland, it starts with other things. It all starts with all the other junk foods. And when you think about it, meat was once alive. Okay, your little crackers, your little chips, your little granola bars, candy bars, cookies, none of that was ever alive. That's what you have to eliminate first. The processed foods, anything with a label on it, anything with a million ingredients, stuff you can't pronounce. That's what you have to eliminate first. Okay, but rewind back to 13 signs astrology. Just saying, matter of factly, that women created men and that men are actually defective women. Like, this dude is a joke. So, as soon as I started riding on him, he came with a decent video. But even then, with the title, he's something's off. Something's off. He knows a lot. But again, that would make a great, a disinfo type of person. Meaning they'll know the info and they'll deliver the info where you're like, oh yeah, that sounds cool, but then they'll throw in that little poison in there, and now you're repeating the poison and looking like a fool. Man has both the X and Y chromosomes. She only has the X chromosome, meaning man cannot have come from woman at all unless a man came inside her first, literally. See, this is mind control at work. This is something so simple. It's biological, meaning it's logical in terms of the body. Women will tell you it's that time of the month, leave me the F alone. Until a man comes with that Y chromosome, with that iron rod, with that phallus. Remember, Isis went looking all over the place for the severed penis of Osiris, but that's another story. Now, where did the Y chromosome come from? God, who they say his name, couldn't even pronounce his name in the early days. It's spelled YHVH. That Y, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh. YHVH, that some people call Yahweh. And they say his son, the Son of God, with that Y chromosome, was Yahshua. Both of the names of God and the Son of God start with Y. That's where the Y chromosome came from. And it says it in the Bible, we are made in God's image. Everything I say is right and exact. All right? I'm the systemic anomaly. I just had to throw a bit of swag at the end. But yeah, it's 13 done. There's much more. This will just be part 1. I hope you learned something. As for your diet, I would say have a balanced diet and exercise. Whatever is in the meats, it doesn't even matter, because there's stuff in the air, there's stuff in the water, there's stuff coming out of the very computer that you're watching this on. Radiation. All right, there's chemtrails helping keeping you dumb, deaf, and blind to the bigger picture. You don't know what's coming out of your water, but that's what you see. God designed your body to handle that. Okay, you have a liver that detoxifies. Whatever is in the food goes through your liver and it takes the toxins out, and you eliminate it through urine and other avenues. So you can say, toxins come out of your pores. They mostly come out of your breath. When a motherfucker has bad breath, that's just toxins that they ate. But you can stay on top of that by not eating so much. So it's not what you eat, it's how much you eat and what you're doing when you're not eating. This is the Portal Prince. Thank you for listening. Peace.